Welcome to the 365 Message Center show. We've got episode 345, and today we'll talk about something arriving in Viva for the dashboard. It'll help you quickly link to what you need to get to. Pausing for effect. All right, we'll also schedule some email with Copilot. It's not what you think, but it could be, and it could be the pathway to what we hope it would be. And then Outlook for iOS and Android are going to help you process your mail quickly with a couple of changes. It's really hard, Daniel, to do these titles without letting people know the entire message. Anyway, let's get on with the episode. That was a very different opening.
Maybe we probably could try this where we try to do the show in 30 seconds. We just read the titles.
Should we? Yeah.
We read the titles and then go thumbs down or thumbs up and just move on. And
let's see if we can fit it inside a short.
Right. Anyway, welcome everyone. We had yet another great time, live show, doing message sorting, having input from people who joined the live show. Greatly appreciate that because it is good to hear other voices. There was a discussion about one of the messages that we are not covering today because basically we decided it wasn't one to cover, but it was about it needed an input on people selecting where they were, where their location was. And the question was, do you actually do that? And it was decided we're not going to cover that message. So if you think, oh, wait, I would have loved that message. Well, you should have joined the live show. So be looking out for that this week. We'll do another one for the next episode.
What was one way of saying this too is that what Daniel's saying is if you came along, you would have got even more value hearing us talk about stuff that we didn't think was valuable enough to be on the show.
But it could have been valued to you, and so make sure you join.
Yeah.
Also, make sure you hit us up on socials at 365MCS on all the socials that matter. And if you'd like to be part of the show, maybe your organization would like to sponsor, I don't know, hit us up at show@365mcs.com. I didn't plan that one, Daryl. I just thought I would throw that out there.
Well,
I do have some expenses coming up for, renewing domains and certificates for the show and stuff. So,
yeah.
If somebody'd like to sponsor, maybe Anyway.
If you'd like to fund our coffee machine that we have in our office at 365MC. Oh, you don't have that, Daniel, in your Nashville
You know what
branch?
I do have, Daryl? I have emails and lots of emails, and I'd like to process through them pretty quickly. Can you maybe talk about a message in the show about or in the message?
Yeah. No, I got it covered. You got the segue there eventually. Well done. I actually think that this would be a decent 7-minute conversation with a few people to say, how do you process your messages? Because I learned a bit about how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Microsoft Outlook, iOS, and Android, new setting to auto-advance the next message. This is MC856762 in your settings for Outlook mobile. You can flick them across and say, I want to open up a message, decide what I want to do with it, flag it, delete it, whatever, and then open to the next message. This is something that we do from desktop. Some of us like that feature. Some of us want it to go back to the message list and then figure out what we're going to do from there. I think this will favor the inbox zero people who just need to process every item and have it open. But it's going to, go to that next message. Is this something that you will use, Daniel?
Absolutely not. I will not use this because what Daryl was alluding to before was that There's layers of way I manage my inbox, and the first layer is whether I've read the message or not. And I don't read, when I go into my email, maybe I'm in a meeting, so I'm not reading email, and nor should you. You should be focused on what the task at hand. Maybe I'm processing, I'm doing something for a client, I'm building a site, I'm producing some training, whatever. And I'm not reading email. Then I'm going to go to my email, and the first thing I do is I read emails that are more important based upon who sent it and the subject. And so I don't want to read in order. I want to read the ones that are important in my mind. And so I will not do this. I will not read and then automatically move on to the next message to read it, because I want to keep that message read or unread so that I can come back to it later.
Well, exactly. Doesn't quite fit in the way that some of us work, but I think for those of us who do want to almost sort of swipe through, have a quick glance at it, it will be helpful. I'm similar. I have a slightly different way of working through these things. I'll look at what I know is clearly a subject or a person that I should get back to, and if it's something that I probably should unsubscribe from, then I might even just swipe and delete it.
That's the beauty of this, though, Daryl, is it's a switch. It is something that I can have it a different setting, and you can have a different setting, or whoever, and it'd be fine. So I'm okay with there being an option to do this. I'm totally okay with that. I just won't use it.
Well, it will be available, Daniel, for iOS in mid-August. Nowish.
Nowish.
Android, late October. Sorry, Android. It's coming out a bit later, but that's okay. It's okay. You can see how people are using it on iPhone, of course, and decide.
Have some envy.
Sure, that's how it works, isn't it, Daniel? Moving on to our next message. Look, there are some things that we do need some help with in Outlook, and I frequently need this. Is Copilot going to help me with this, Daniel?
Copilot can help you do anything if you're talking to the Copilot marketing people. Schedule with Copilot from an email, MC859835. The premise here is that you are emailing, there's a thread or something of emails, or you've just received one email, right, about something. There's going to be a button that you're going to click, Schedule with Copilot, that will create a meeting, okay, for those that are on the email, and it's going to create it and give you a start for an agenda, a suggested agenda, and a suggested summary. And this is, once you insert it, of course, you could edit, just like you can with all Copilot content that's generated, because you probably should, right? I mean, the beauty of Copilot is it can look at the content and go, oh, they talked about this subject, this thing in the email, maybe that should be on the agenda. Or when you're creating this, maybe you don't want that on the agenda, right? So delete it or change the way that it's phrased or whatever. But it's a starting point for you to create a meeting. You should, in my opinion, never create a meeting without an agenda. And that just helps keep everybody understanding what it's for and if they should attend or not. Sorry, just because you send it doesn't mean everybody should be there. And a summary. I think that's useful to say, hey, let's get together and talk about this, blah, blah, thing, right? So, Daryl, will you be using this functionality to create meetings automatically from an email like this?
I think it would be a good starter. I want to certainly see how good it does. Yeah. Is it going to go through our conversation thread and truly pick out the things that we need to discuss as a suggestion? Is it going to give me a good summary so people know what they're going to be attending? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm usually quite disciplined with putting an agenda in. I'll even use formatting to show agenda as a a style in the yeah.
I'll
But
do
I think
bullets. I'll do agenda, bold, underlined, bullets underneath. Yeah, that's my style.
we have some ideas for what we'd like this to do in level 2, level 3, fourth release. Be good to be able to broker a meeting times for people that the calendars can be seen. Make 3 suggestions and drop them in there. I mean, those are the sorts of things we would like to see as
Well,
part of it.
it's interesting to see the starts and stops Microsoft has had over the years with scheduling meetings and trying to make this better. Because frankly, it's not great. And, I use a product called Bookings that Microsoft has quite a bit to help facilitate that, saying, here's a link, schedule a time that best works for you. You click it, it shows you my availability and my calendar, go for it. We've had Find Time, we've had Scheduling Assistant, we had Cortana. You mentioned, I couldn't remember what it was, but that functionality of, saying way back, we schedule a meeting with this person for 30 minutes after Thursday. And Cortana would go, okay, done, or I can't remember exactly all the steps. But it just seems like there's just been so many starts and stops when we're scheduling. And yeah, there's some tricky parts here. Like if the meeting if the email includes people outside of your organization, how would you see their calendar to be able to even determine when a good meeting time would be? We have some suggestions on that, but we also have a suggestion for Microsoft to pay us to help better their product. So we're not going to reveal all of our ideas, but I think for that second version or iteration of how Copilot will handle this, some of that kind of stuff, tackling those harder issues would greatly increase Copilot usage. I'm just going to say it. I really do. If you could simplify creating meetings to where it's one button, review the content to go, ooh, I want to edit this or edit that, but it's put all the people in, it's already scheduled the time, it's picked a time where we all are available, it's already done 98% of the work for me. I think people would start paying for a Copilot just for that. That's my opinion. I don't know if you agree with Daryl, but I think they would.
But this current feature, Daniel, when's that going to be coming?
It's going to be rolling out mid-August 2024, completed by late August. And of course, this applies to when you have a Copilot Enterprise license, which means Copilot for Microsoft 365. Moving right along.
Yep.
I would like to talk about yet another paid feature. But I want to hide it. I don't want to tell people it's paid unless they go searching for it. Can you give me a feature like that?
Yeah. No, and this is why we talk about this on that live stream,
Yep.
working it all out.
Yep.
Microsoft Teams improvements to manage what attendees see feature, MC859870. This, as we've discovered, is a Teams premium feature. You won't see that in this message until you visit the link at the bottom. Manage what attendees see in the Teams meetings Microsoft support article. The goal with it is to be able to bring people on and off that stage so that you can focus on it. Think of it like almost you're having a discussion panel. You're deliberately bringing people into focus because you want the audience to see them. It's almost like the next level of spotlight, where you can spotlight 1 or 2 or 3 people, but this has a switching capability. Rather than glancing at that big gallery view and trying to figure out who is it that's actually talking. Now, it's a good feature. It is going to be helpful, but as we mentioned, it is a premium feature to have those switches. If you don't,
I have Teams Premium.
You do?
And I think it's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to say don't pay attention to this because you have to pay for it. Well, maybe this is something that added to the list of things that Teams Premium gives you that you go, maybe I should take a look at that. I think Teams Premium is worth the price, and this is another feature included. So, take a look.
Yeah.
Maybe. Tell
So
them
for
Daniel
those-
sent it so I can get a kickback, maybe. Is that how it works?
You get a discount this month for saying so.
Referral
affiliate
code.
affiliate code, down below in the links exactly. That's the key thing is bringing people on and off screen. It's for presenters, it's for attendees. If you've got a Q&A session, that person who's gone, that already have the confidence to have their camera on, they've come off mute, they've got that question. You flick that switch across. Actually, that brings a point though. Some people don't like to be the focus of attention when that sort of thing happens. So if you're going to use a feature like this, you might want to say, here's how we're going to use it. You may, be put on center stage as you're asking your question.
This plays into that whole, it's hard to communicate. I'll just leave it at that. It's just hard to communicate when, you have to be thinking about how people like to be communicated with, and we're expected to change our behavior based on how people prefer to be communicated with, or, how they prefer to attend meetings, yet we're all individuals, and how do you do that when there's a group of us? Anyway, it's just difficult. So I agree with you. Just communicate and say, this is how we're going to use it.
Yep. As a feature coming, when is this releasing? General availability begin to roll out late August and complete by early September. That's it.
And
it's
target release
available.
already here.
Oh,
So
okay. Yes, available now.
normally Teams is better at this, telling us when it's coming before it comes, but they didn't this time.
That's right. Okay. Well, Daniel, moving into so speaking of stuff in your tenant. No,
Is it
I
all
can't-
of this stuff in your tenant?
Yeah. Well, you might want to protect it.
Take action! Enable multifactor authentication for your tenant before October 15th, 2024. MC 862873. Now, this is one that actually the title doesn't give kind of the nuance away, like the actual, it doesn't, because it just says enable it. But what this message is saying, October 15th, if you don't enable it for your admins who access the Microsoft Azure portal, Intra Admin Center, or the Intune Admin Center, then if they don't have MFA enabled, then their functionality in those portals and admin centers will be reduced. Okay. It is good to highlight here, this message is from the Microsoft Intra, Intune, and Windows Auto Patch. Interesting. Service. So that's why they're calling out, those particular portals. So this is, frankly, I'm just going to say it, you should have already done this anyway. If you're an admin in those portals, you should already have your MFA turned on. I don't know why you don't. You're given the privilege of being an admin, so therefore you must do it. That would be my position as someone who leads policy in an organization. Turn it on. Protect you and your organization from a resume generating event. Meaning you didn't turn on MFA and you got phished and things happened because you didn't have security protocol, you're going to get fired. And maybe you kind of want to keep your job. So let's not do that. Turn it on now. Don't wait till October 15th. Turn it on now. That's it. That's my message.
A South African expression. Now.
Right. Exactly. But I'm saying quad that. Like now.
So right now. Go do it.
Now.
Open up your admin portal right now while you're watching the show.
Yes. And there's best practices of doing this. Don't do it for everyone all at once that's an admin, just in case you screw it up. You have an admin that doesn't have it on and can undo it for, all that kind of stuff. But do it. That's it. I'm done with this message.
No. When's this rolling out? Oh, I joke. It's right there. It's right there.
What I need, Daryl,
Tell me about it. What do you need, man?
I really need more links. And I feel like
I've got you.
I feel like I'm in that sketch of saying I need more cowbell. I need more links. And then when you say, well, here's some links, and you're like, no. I need more links.
I need links within links. That's what this is about, actually.
Yes.
Microsoft Viva Quick Links card on the Viva Connections dashboard, MC863971. You're looking for a good card? New card? Are you using cards? Are you using the link cards to point to stuff on your intranet? Does your Viva Connections dashboard take you 30 minutes to scroll to the bottom because you've got lots of links? Well, we have something for you. the Viva Connections Quick Links card for your dashboard. You can create a card that can house 20 links, up to 20 links. It will highlight that first link in your list and then say so many more, whatever you've got, up to 20. You can pick a picture for it. I've picked a nice one with Daniel pointing to the corner saying click those links right there. You might consider asking your senior leadership to do the same, to draw people's attention to the quick links. But the goal with it is that it is a list of links. You can make them accessible in the quick link in the dashboard and launch them. There are some features that you would expect quick links to have that are there, like audience targeting. You can't tick a box to say open in a separate tab or whatever, but things are there. Now, that's about it. I mean, it is kind of helpful, but the downside, what do you think, Daniel? When you look at this card, is it inviting you to find out what's more underneath?
Yeah, I see a couple downsides here. First is, and you could probably talk me down to from this, but I feel like it's a different way of using a card for links. Previously, you've been creating a card that's a link. And so the user just clicks it and goes, right? This is, they click it and then they're presented with links.
Yeah.
So it's a different mentality. Yes, there's other cards that where you would click it, it would do a fly out and show you things. I get that, but it's just a different way of doing a link card. And so I really do think you're going to need to be very thoughtful about the card image you use and the title that you use to make sure that your users know that it is this is what it is, right? And then the second thing, Daryl, is that it and it's not appears, it actually is this. Your first link actually shows up, the title shows up on the card, and then it says plus whatever more, however more links you have. So you've got to be very mindful of which is your first link. I don't know. I kind of cringe on that a little bit because, that could be mistaken as the whole, that first link verbiage could be mistaken as the whole intent of the card, where the card is actually intent for many links. So,
can I draw a parallel here?
Yeah, absolutely.
When people see our episodes on our channel, they will see the title, which we often craft to focus in on our headline, but that's not all. There's more to it.
Yeah.
And maybe people gloss over that because they go, I'm not really interested in Teams something this week. I'll skip that. But they don't know that it's a full episode with at least 5 or 6 messages. Similar here. Look at that and go, no, that's not me. It looks like a piece of news. But it's not. It's more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this does fill that void of that we know that the dashboard cards, there's a limited number that gets shown when it's like on your Viva Connections page. It's not an infinite number. And so once it gets to a point, then you have to view the whole dashboard to get all of it. So this is a functionality. Yes, it's condensing all of your links down to one, or a great many of them down to one, saving you space, giving you access to seeing your content and seeing all of those cards that your communicators want you to see, right, as they're setting this up. I like that, but you're just going to be very mindful of making this look in a way that your users are going to be attracted to it, to click on it, to then open it up. And also, you're going to have to train, right? You're going to have to, hey, everybody, I think you're going to have to make sure your users aware that this is the new thing, I guess. I don't like it. What do you think about being called quick links?
Well, I think now that I'm looking at, because I've tried it out, I've got it here on screen, I've looked at it on mobile, you've got a limited number of characters. So you've got to be careful with what you call it so that it's clearly what it is. I think most of us are going to call it quick links or something links because you don't have a lot of space.
Yeah. Maybe shortcuts, maybe, something. But we have a quick links web part in SharePoint too. So I wouldn't call it the same. Like if you have it on your SharePoint home site, a quick links section, I wouldn't call it quick links because I, as a user, would look at that and go, "Oh, these are the same links as right there," and I hope you wouldn't do that. But
don't call it resources either, by the way.
Yeah, don't call it resources.
There's already resources in Viva Connections.
Yeah, so those are the kind of things I'm thinking about that you need to be aware of.
No, you can't see that. You got polar bear in the snow. It's too overexposed. But it does, when you click on it on your mobile phone, it pops up from the bottom. So it gives you like a full tray of whatever those links are going to be.
Yeah.
At least that's functional. Okay. Well, this is available now, as you see. General availability beginning to roll out in August and expected to be complete by mid-August. Well, here we are.
I know. It said we began rolling out. Thanks for the notification. Appreciate you letting us know beforehand.
When did this happen, not when will this happen.
That definitely helps us prepare for change.
Yeah. Good. Well, I mean, it's not there on the show.
For those on the audio podcast, I did give a look of, sarcasm, like, come on, guys.
No, I heard it. That look was actually audible.
And expected to be completed by mid-August, which is now, like, already happened. So, anyway. Come on. Come on beforehand, please. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Now, we did get some encouragement to rant about that message from our live audience in the message sorting room. So maybe we won't name who said we should have ranted, but thank you for that.
They can go and watch
person.
that and see.
Yeah, go see it in a live chat.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. That's the show. That is the episode. And I greatly appreciate those that I saw in Washington, D.C. at TechCon 365. I gave out so many stickers. You remember those stickers I showed you? The limited
edition. Did you leave
edition?
any on the monument?
They're gone. No, I did not
Nobody
break the
does
law
that.
and deface monuments.
Okay.
However, I did give away a tremendous amount of my stickers. So again, if you want to sponsor the show so I can actually buy more stickers to give away, let us know at show@365mcs.com. Love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I greatly appreciate you and being part of the show. Leave us a comment down below on any of the messages we covered and your thoughts. Hit us up on the socials at 365MCS.
Next week. See you then.
Bye-bye.